Batman says you need a mentor. Let's talk about why. Welcome to Inner Warrior, where we learn from our modern superhero myths to unleash the inner warrior in you to help you tell a better life story. Before Bruce Wayne became Batman, he had a goal in mind. And I swear by the spirits of my parents to avenge their deaths by spending the rest of my life warring on all criminals. That was the promise Bruce made as a child, the goal he set in his mind. To get to that level of mastery that he needed to actually bring about that promise, he needed help. Batman did not become Batman alone. He learned patience and mind-clearing techniques from Master Kirigi, how to think like a criminal and gather information from Henry Ducard. He trained his detective skills with Private Eye Dan Mallory by working for him for free. He paid Ted Grant to teach him boxing and how to take hits. He paid Don Miguel to teach him high-speed chases. Batman also learned various martial arts from countless instructors, such as David Kane and Richard Dragon. And he even learned gadgetry and creative thinking from Sergei. Inspired by Zorro, or the Great Ghost, depending on the continuity, Bruce always had an idea of what kind of person he wanted to become. And using those teachers, he was able to become the Batman we all know and love. In the 1997 DC Comics Batman/Wildcat miniseries, the comics fight card for Batman states that Batman was becoming the sum of all his teachers and more. So, is there any evidence that having a mentor actually helps protégés succeed? Postdoctoral researcher for sports psychology, Matthew Barlow, did a study to find the relationship between super elite athletes or super elites and coach-athlete relationships. The government organization UK Sport funded Barlow's study to focus solely on the coach-athlete relationship, after learning it was one of the variables that led to super elites. In the study, they found that technical know-how was common among all coaches, but the coaches of super elites also had emotional support from their coaches. Super elite athletes perceived their need for emotional and esteem support were met in a way that the elites did not, Barlow stated. The coaches of super elites cared for the super elites like their parents. They believed in the super elites wholeheartedly and cared about their personal life. Meanwhile, research study by Northwestern University of Illinois found that mentoring in academic fields such as mathematics and science also helped protégés in their careers. Brian Uzi, who led the study, stated, if you are a researcher with a mentor who later goes on to be a prize winner, you doubled or quadrupled your probability of having a superstar career. The study found that mentorship strongly predicted the success of the protégé. What's interesting is that they also found that protégés succeed best when they break away from their mentors and think independently. As you can see, Bruce does break away from each mentor he has. He becomes the sum of all of them instead of just becoming them. Bruce never stays with a mentor too long before breaking out, finding a new mentor to teach him new skills. You can even see this in Bruce's relationship with the Bat family and his mentorship of them. Dick goes from Batman's protege to Nightwing, and from there, Nightwing leads his own sort of family in the Teen Titans. Jason Todd goes from Robin to gaining his own identity as Red Hood and leading the Outlaws. Tim Drake is mentored by Batman and becomes Red Robin, leading the Teen Titans. Barbara Gordon becomes Batgirl and then Oracle, serving as a tech for all heroes. The list goes on, but the fact remains the same. Mentorship plays a big part in Batman's life. But what makes a good mentor? According to an article by J.J. Van Bevel, an associate professor in psychology and neurosciences at New York University in New York City, mentors need to practice authoritative parenting with their protégés. Van Bevel states that mentors need to take an interest in their students' goals and encourage them to accept challenges and take risks, as well as provide guidance on how to overcome obstacles. But unlike parenting, it is also critical that mentors accept and encourage students' sense of independence by, for example, letting them take the lead on projects or sending them to a conference on their own when the time is right. Mentors should be constantly creating opportunities that allow trainees to become more independent, not micromanaging them or refusing to let them go. The article also explains that mentors should have a belief that ability and talent can be learned, otherwise they risk alienating protégés or making protégés feel like failures before they even get a chance to succeed. Setting up challenging but attainable goals with guidelines, support, and confidence in a protégé is more likely to help them succeed. Van Bevel also states to praise hard work, effort, and improvement, and reward things mentees can control rather than outcomes that hinges more on outside forces and chance. This means cultivating a growth mindset and allowing the protege to understand that failure is a normal part of life and that we should be able to learn from these failures in order to get them closer to succeeding. Notice how all of Batman's proteges are treated as family in Batman's eyes. He challenges them and supports them when they need backup. He also expresses confidence in them, stating how Dick is a clearer version of what Batman was meant to be, how Jason is willing to do what Batman can't, and how Batman is jealous of Tim's strategic mind. Batman seems to check all the boxes of a good mentor for the most part, depending on who's writing him. How can you use this lesson from Batman to better yourself? How do you find a mentor? Well, there's a few ways. You can surround yourself with people who are where you want to be, either through meetup groups or forums, and watch videos or read books of people that will teach you what you need to know. This way you can learn through the videos or books, but also get the support through the groups and forums. If you save up some money, you can hire a coach or consultant or take a boot camp or an online class that also offers support. Or you can work for someone for free or as an intern to gain experience and support. Now, go be like Batman and get yourself some mentors. Have you had a mentor before? How did you find him and how did they help you? Let me know in the comments below.